Welcome to this week's edition of our Friday Tactics board. We've got a very special guest with us this week, and our first female that we've interviewed. So hopefully that'll give us an idea of what we're going to talk about. But welcome, AJ, Amanda Goodwin from the FA. How are you doing, Amanda?
Yeah, I'm really good, thank you. Thanks for the invite, and obviously quite privileged if you haven't had any females on. So yeah, quite fortunate that I'm the first female on your little bit of a video podcast. So thanks for the invite.
No, brilliant. No, so obviously we've worked together now for just over a year now, isn't it, really? So I'll let you introduce yourself officially, so people know there who you are, what your role is, and then what your background is. If you want to tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so obviously previously I used to play. So obviously with a Women's National Premier League, so playing for the likes of Blackburn, Man City, and then retired around about 28 because I knew it was never going to be a full-time career. So that's kind of when I went into a bit more of, you call it, serious coaching. So obviously doing my A license, working at a club, being a PE teacher as well. So probably same as everyone else, handling thousands of jobs, trying to get to where you want to be. And then I was really fortunate that this role came up within the Northwest as a talent technical coach. And I was successful in gaining the role. So obviously my role now is supporting talent, developing talent, and also as well providing a real good structure around some of the talent identification in the Northwest and some of the strategies that we're going after and who we're working with. And then alongside that, I'm quite fortunate. I'm the assistant coach for the women's under-16s national team. So obviously supporting the best, going away on camps, supporting them in UEFA development tournaments, and obviously working with them on the pitch and obviously in camp environment. So I get the best of both worlds. But so I'm really fortunate to be in this role, and I think the biggest thing is giving player an opportunity to be seen by us, and that's kind of where I see success.
And that opportunity then leads into how we're working together then with the Future Lionesses project then that we're doing. So just explain like where that come from and how that started and what it's all about around the country.
Yeah, it's a really good question. So obviously historically within my role, we used to just talent ID girls in regional talent clubs. And like I say, gone are the days now. We're now supporting 70 emerging talent clubs. So that means more opportunity for young girls to play organised football, be spotted, talent spotted. So the Future Lioness project is more around like our individual strategies and our bespoke strategies in our region. So how do we identify talent, and obviously giving players the opportunity to showcase talent. So obviously we run 2 Future Lioness Discover My Talent events within our region. One was previously in November, and we've got one coming up in May. How girls apply for that is more so down to the coaches or the people that work with the players. So we reach out to stakeholders, and we run an education around what is Discover My Talent, what are the characteristics that we're looking for, and then obviously from that players will be referred. And then when players are referred within our region, we then go and kind of put on events which are localized, and obviously girls will attend and compete against each other to kind of showcase their talent alongside probably the characteristics that we're kind of underpinning of what we want a player to look like.
So I know there's information online on the FA website regarding these characteristics. Can't say that word. So I'll put a link on this video so people can go and see that then as well. And I know, like I said, it's quite specific for outfield players, for goalkeepers, and then people then can refer them to through yourselves, or then we have the open events, which the open events are listed on our website, and it's under futurelionesses.co.uk, so people can see what events are going on around the country and the next ones. And if girls have got this talent and they want to refer them, then there's a way through the website to do that then. So I'll just link that in there then while we were just discussing that. So this project then, so we started working about a year ago together. So like, how's it developed, not just from our relationship and what we now do, but how's the overall project gone?
Yeah, obviously, like thinking back now, it's been a year. Like I remember reaching out to you, and we met in a coffee shop, and we just spoke about potential ideas, and we didn't really know where it would go. But like, it's really developed on. And like I said, it was down to the relationship we built, the strategy that we built, and what we want to go after, and the opportunity we want to provide, not only within the Northwest region now, but you're now kind of going across region into the Northeast, the Southwest area, the Midlands area. So it's kind of broadening to other areas as well. But just thinking back at a year now, in like how many events we've ran, and I think that if you look at success, that's the success area for us, is it's opportunity, it's accessibility. We're taking our events to talent, and we've never really done that at past. So basically that's down to kind of you guys helping support our regional strategies and our kind of focus areas that we want to go after. And like I said, we've probably run however many, like 15 to 20 events now, probably even more than that.
Yeah, no, I think I counted up the other day. I think the one at weekend was either the 21st or 22nd one that we did.
So if you're thinking about events and opportunity, probably what we're saying around minimum 100 girls plus events. So if you're looking and taking that as a number, like it's massive opportunity. And like I say, girls probably can't have the funding or the accessibility or the parental backing to get to some of our events in historic, whereas now we're taking events to them, and now we're starting to find diamonds in kind of localized area, in communities, in kind of grassroots areas, in boys football, so they can be playing in any environment now to be spotted. But the biggest thing is the amount of girls that we've seen over the past year working with you guys, and obviously it's only going to stretch and grow. So we've got an event coming up in May, and just in the Northwest alone we've got 250 girls that we need to talent ID, and obviously that's 250 girls that we might not have been able to see in the past. So for me, that's kind of the success of the partnership that we build with you. But also as well, what I will say is it's a fun environment to be in. It's 3v3, it's fast, they get loads of touches of the ball, so they can showcase their talent. And I think that's the biggest thing, because it's probably a daunting environment. Girls might be quite scared thinking they come to a future Lioness talent ID event, so they want to showcase their skill. So it's down to us to give them the best possible opportunity. And like I said, working with you guys, with the pitches, the air pitches, and the amount of touches and the games and the physical demands of the football. And yeah, it's just a real good partnership to have. So like I said, a year ago, we met in a coffee shop, and now we're putting on 20 odd events with minimum 100 girls at these events. So we've definitely had success over this year, and this will continue to grow.
So I say we've done this, I say, over a year now, and they've got better each event than that we've done. I say we've got the air pitches coming up, the unbranded ones then very soon. So they're just going to get more and more, and we've got more opportunities for girls to play. So with your talent ID spotter, hat on, why 3v3? What does 3v3 allow you to do that just watching them in normal formats wouldn't?
Yeah, well, it's a good question, but it links a lot to our future Lioness characteristics. So what we're looking for is players who are creative and exciting on the ball, players that can stay on the ball with pressure. If you're looking at the size of the pitches and how fast the game is, they're under pressure or 100% of the time. They've got to get out of pressure. We're looking for them to dribble. We're looking for them to use the teammates. And obviously, we're not looking them to kick the ball out of the pitch, so the ball will stay on the pitch. So we've basically in possession of the ball more times than playing in a 7v7 or an 8v8. So they'll get more touches of the ball. They'll get more opportunity to show us their talent. And I guess the other side of it as well is that, like I touched upon, is the physical side. So it's quick. The rules of 3v3 football are very intense. So the demands of the game, we can see if players have got those repeat actions at high intensity. we can see if they've got speed to get past players. The recovery runs, once they've scored a goal, they have to go and touch their own goal. So that's like making a recovery run in football, or tracking back a player and then starting again. So there's so many physical demands playing 3v3, but there's also a lot of technical demands. So to marry those up, it's a really good insight to get the first insight to a player. And obviously, if we do like the look of a player, we'll then start inviting them into maybe bigger areas. So can they impact the game in bigger pitches? And then from that, we'll go and see them in their own environment. So obviously, like that might be 9v9, 11v11, whatever format they're playing. And it'll just give a good holistic all-round talent ID approach of looking at that player. But to start off with, 3v3 is just perfect to see if the player can handle the ball, if the player can move with and without pressure. Obviously, what we want them to do is be able to stay on the ball and be able to manipulate the ball, and what are those 1v1 techniques like. So it gives us a real good indication of that talent in the player, and then it's our opportunity and for us to then take it into their own environment to see if they can impact larger areas, more tactical side of the game.
So it's like a pyramid. Let's say 3v3, even though it's a smaller game, it allows us to see more players, because I say, yeah, a general event, 100 plus, then that will have, and yeah, a girl if that was a bigger format, might not be able to showcase everything what she can do in the time frame that we'd have if we had that many players. So the next step on then, so obviously we have a lot of girls then who come to these events. Not many then get put through to like the next stage. But what is that pathway? What is like the steps? What happens then after a 3v3 event?
Yeah, so obviously, like you said, it is like a bit of a pyramid. So 3v3 is the start of our pathway. So we identify talent, and with the high volume, it's a great way to identify talent. So utilising technical staff, they'll be observing a pitch each. We utilise our talent reporters. So they're heavily volumed with talent ID staff. So each girl will have the opportunity to be seen. So that's the first and foremost, because if we're playing in bigger games, they might not touch the ball. So they might not be able to be seen, or they showcase their talent. So for me, it's that first opportunity. And then like you said, from that is, if we think that a girl shows talent, we then go and see them either in her own environment to see whether she, like I said, she can impact in bigger games, bigger formats. And then obviously we might then see them in a training session. We might bring them down to some of our talent management sessions, which are happening in Manchester on a Friday. So that's like the best of the best, and we'll see if she can compete against the best players and see where her development's at. And then from that, if like say successful and she's doing really well, she can then lead on to some of our national teams, and we start at under 15s. So potentially could feed into our 15 squad, could feed into our under 16 squad. Because we really go after certain age groups. So at the minute, we're going after 2007 to 2010, because that's kind of trying to filter in our first point of our national teams, which is under 15s. So kind of that's the process that we take.
No, I'd say we've seen thousands of girls now over the past year then. And we always say everyone's pathway is different. Some, it's not a no forever, it's just a maybe not now. And we have more events, they can come back next year. And a lot of it then is what's going on in the girls' game. I've seen how much it's grown over the past 4 or 5 years, and the standard that's got better. So you've probably seen that yourself quite easily. So looking then at not then the talent pathway, just the girls' game in general, and obviously thinking of 3v3. So we do a lot then, like at not say the bottom end, but the beginner stage with like your Wildcats, girls and just starting playing football. So how do you think 3v3 can help those beginner girls then to get up the ladder almost?
Yeah, I think it's what I said before. It's about like giving them opportunity to show the talent. So playing smaller formats, you're going to have more touches of the ball. You're going to have more opportunity to develop and learn with pressure, and you're going to have more opportunity to develop with both feet. So I think it's just a vital opportunity that we need to showcase and use this 3v3 for player development. The speed of the game, like I said, it's so demanding and so hard. Obviously, you play for 8 minutes, and like I said, you've got to be able to repeat those high intensity actions. You've got to be able to get on the ball and stay on the ball. And like if you've got a player down, the game still plays. So you might play underloaded. Again, that's another learning curve that some of the players need to take. But I think the biggest thing with 3v3 is about giving players an opportunity. So say a girl turns up at your event, you've got 10 pitches. That's so many girls taking like having a go at taking the opportunity. Whereas if you've got a pitch and you're playing 11v11, only 22 players can play. And if you're a talent ID and over 100 kids, that means players aren't going to get much of an opportunity. So with you guys at 3v3, it's about, like I said, touching on the ball, more game time, more opportunity, which for me, more opportunity, more game time is more learning and more development.
No, and as I said, we've been quite heavily involved in the girls' game now over the past couple of years, and it's only going to grow, especially in Manchester, where we're based from. Around the country, it's slowly getting there. But we've got a girls' only event coming up in July. A lot of the girls come and play against the boys, which is really good for them. But I do know, they prefer, when they can play just against other girls, and it's great to see. AJ, thanks for your time. I always end this one last question, which I don't prepare you for, so it is off the cuff. So we've got World Cup 3v3 in 2028. Right? Or you've got two teams to pick. Your all-time best 3v3 players, and then your future lionesses 3v3 players. Who are we having?
Okay, so all-time best, it could be male and female.
Yeah, male or female, and then the second one just female.
And then future lionesses, it needs to be female, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. This has definitely thrown me off. Thought of a bit of preparation. So let's go for all time. I would probably go Pele in there, Messi, and Ronaldo. So let's go for technicians. Let's go for those players in my 3v3 team, and especially if I can be manager of that team as well, even better.
Oh yes, I'm sure they'll listen to you. Get back and defend.
And then future lioness. Oh, so let's go for Farrah Williams. One, just both feet, technician, would be really good at 3v3. Like I said, stays on the ball, shows our characteristics. And then I would go Georgia Stanway, and this is a tough one. Probably Kira Walsh as the three. They're probably my three. So I've got two youngsters who are future lioness who've probably come through the system, and then we're going to go for Farrah Williams, who's an ex-international, who's an absolute superstar and will be amazing at 3v3 with her technical qualities. So that's probably my 3v3 team. Right,
we'll get him in. We'll get on the phone. We'll get him down to the next event, see if they can play. Yeah, I've not seen you play actually. Yeah, it's easy to coach, not as easy to play. It is a tough game. So AJ, thanks for your time. I'd say this program we've done over the past year has been brilliant. We've seen, let's say, thousands of girls now come through, and hopefully, we'll be watching World Cup 4 years time, and we're going, she was at one of our events there, and that's where she was spotted. So that's my dream, to keep doing that and keep moving it on and helping the girls game grow. And I know that the opportunity now is getting miles better for the girls out there. So well done to you and all the team then around the country who are banging the drum for this then to happen. So it is only going to get bigger. You'll see a 3v3 air pitch on a pitch near you soon, no doubt, whoever's watching this. So thanks for your time. Like I say, I'll put the links below to how to refer someone to the program and what the characteristics are, so people can look at that. And I'll see you soon. Cheers, AJ.
Yeah, cheers, Mike. Thank you.